have that chimney view up there inside such a small little space there as a kitchen. That's not so. That doesn't seem realistic from that time. What they would really do is this right here. They would put the oven and everything else outside.
Well, I know they've got a whole fireplace in there.
Well, I know, but they made it look like it's like its oven. It's like the oven for the kitchen.
Yeah.
But if you see the size of the kitchen, they wouldn't have done that because a lady in there would have been cooking all day long, right, on a summer day.
Yeah.
You know, cooking, right? So they would put their ovens and stuff. They still do it today.
They put it outside, so you're not heating up the whole house.
Outside, so you can cook outside, and all the heat goes in the house at all.
So we're at the El Pueblo Museum where we're learning all kinds of interesting things, and they have a period similar reconstruction of the original trading post outside. I'm here with Liberty Freak TV and Aaron and Melody, and Jonna's running around somewhere, being Jonna, wherever she's at. But anyway, some interesting history here. The El Pueblo Trading Post. When Mexico won its independence from Spain in 1821, the border between the United States and Mexico was defined by the Arkansas River, which runs right past us here. To form a trade connection between the Mexican and American frontiers, in a similar style to that of Bent's Fort, the El Pueblo Trading Post was built in 1842. However, when the Mexican-American War ended in 1846, the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo shifted the border south to the Rio Grande River. This drastically changed the lives of those that lived in the region now known as Southern Colorado. Throughout this time of shifting borders, migration, colonization, this area became a crossroads for many different cultural groups, including Anglo, Hispano, African American, French Canadian, and Indigenous, and was a stopping point on well-traveled trails such as the Trappers Trail, also known as the Taos Trail, the Cherokee Trail, and the Santa Fe Trail. But one of the things that we noticed here that Abity made me come over and take a look at is you just come here to their little kitchen ensemble and you step in here, and can you guys feel that? My God, the temperature dropped 15 degrees. I'm wondering if they can feel the temperature drop on the camera.
Yeah, right.
Isn't that, feel that? Feel that? And then feel this.
You imagine that thing roaring here on a summer day in this little, in this little space right here. Boy, that would be hot as balls, right?
Well, it's certainly hot as balls out here, and this is the southern facing side. But in here, it's amazing.
Yeah, it feels like
this is awesome. Yeah, yeah. I hope you guys can feel that because it's really amazing. Let me know in the comments if you can feel the temperature drop. But here's that fireplace. They probably wouldn't have cooked in here during the summer. My God, that would have heated the room up. Oh, I'll just go ahead and read all of these for you. I'll take you on a tour. This room has been set up as a kitchen to demonstrate the various cooking and eating practices of the people who lived in or visited the trading post. While each room would have its own individual fireplace, it says that they would. Records indicate that there was possibly a communal kitchen where all the women gathered to cook for the entire community. However, during the summer, when the weather was hot, it was common to cook outside over open fires to prevent the rooms from getting too hot. See, we intuited that, didn't we? Yeah, the trading post was a self-sufficient community. Crops of chilies, squash, beans, and corn were grown and irrigated by the Arkansas River, and harvests were preserved by drying the fruits and vegetables. They raised their own livestock of cows, chickens, and pigs, and the meat was preserved by packing it in salt or by smoking it. There's our preserved vegetables over on the side there. Hung to dry. And here's our little outdoor cooking stove. There we go.
And door number 4 is the molds for the brick that they use.
Oh, they have the brick molds in there? All right, let's go to door number 2 first. Door number 2, daily life. Here we go, daily life. Yeah, daily life did not have whites that white, I can tell you that. And social services would definitely take that baby away if I abandoned it next to a headless midwife. Oh, you suppose that's a butter churn? I bet it is. I've got a little weaving going on that side. Lots of washboards. Let's see what it says here. Daily life. In the 1840s to 1850s, this large room would have been 2 rooms. This room is set up to display the tools and implements used in the routine of a family's daily life during this time period. Daily chores would include cooking, sweeping the floor, grinding corn, sewing, washing laundry at the river, and tending to crops and livestock. Other common tasks included spinning, weaving, blacksmithing, woodworking, adobe making, and foraging. Childcare, family care, and the practice of religious and spiritual beliefs were also constant parts of people's lives. Games, gambling, and storytelling were popular ways to pass the time and provide entertainment in between the times chores and tasks had to be done. Now let's look at door number 3. Door number 3 says the traveler's room. Well, I think that probably applies more to door number 4, because here we are on the other side of this room, which they told us was 2 rooms just displayed as 1. These are some of the materials that they used to weave into their product. Fascinating. I had no idea. I don't know if you guys can read any of those. I can't. Maybe the camera picks that up. Look, guys, it's just like an original Eric Brandt video. But let's look behind the next door. We'll get a quick view first. Apparently heads weren't very popular back in the day because all of these people are headless. I guess you really could lose your head back then. Here's a picture of Saint Ursula. Oh, there's the molds for the adobe bricks. Let's read the placard. The Traveler's Room. Adobe brick was the primary building material that early settlers used to construct the trading post. Adobe consists of clay, sand, water, and dried grass or straw, which was plentiful in the region. The walls are plastered with a thin adobe stucco, then painted with whitewash, which was hydrated lime and water. The large ceiling beams, vigas, were made of pine or cottonwood, and the smaller beams, latias, were of birch or aspen, often arranged in a herringbone pattern. Rooms would have 1 door, 1 window, and a fireplace that would serve as the room's main light and heat source. There would also not be adjoining doorways connecting the rooms. Travelers, traders, trappers, artisans, and other guests who passed through El Pueblo would stay in small living quarters to rest before moving on to their next destination. In exchange for a night's stay, travelers could barter or work and help with the chores or building maintenance. Now we're coming to the corner here. This side says the Bastion. More headless guests. And they have a lot of stuff in here. There's a game table, some trunks. Looks like some musical instruments yonder. More weaving. And here's a model. Let's check out the other window. Look at that. I see. Maybe you guys can see more than I can, because I can't see over the edge. The bastion. El Pueblo had two bastions, or towers, diagonal from each other. There you go. See the two bastions? Right here and right here. Okay. Go back to our reading. El Pueblo had two bastions, or towers, diagonal from each other. Inside was an enclosed circular room that would have a ladder that led to an opening in the roof. From the roof, one could see 180 degrees in both directions, so any potential incoming attacks or enemies could be spotted. The large circular room was primarily used to store food, trade goods, firearms, and ammunition. This room was also sometimes used as a school, a game room, and a communal gathering place, especially when it was cold, as they would mingle in a warm space away from the elements. See some mixture of materials here. I mean, they have to be practical in how they build their reconstructions, I suppose. Period similar, perhaps, but not period authentic. Here's the room with all the furs. Stick candy, it says right there. Coffee. Pipes. Fabric samples. All kinds of little goodies. Beads. Little alcoves in the fireplace for their candles. Some traps in the back. There's really much more to see here, probably in person. But let's read the placard. This says, the trade room. Trade was the principal reason El Pueblo existed. The post was purposefully built near customers and supply sources. The customers included traders from the United States to the east, Spanish and Mexican traders from the south, and mountain men who brought fur and hides to the trading post. These traders also wanted a base of operation for trade with the indigenous nations, primarily Arapaho, Cheyenne, and Ute. Initial bartering occurred in the post's courtyard, where traders would use buffalo hides to display their goods. Common trade goods included necessities like food, tools, and fabrics, luxury goods like tobacco, tea, and alcohol, and novelty items. El Pueblo traders also traveled themselves to nearby settlements like Taos to acquire what they couldn't grow or make themselves, like whiskey, dried vegetables, flour, and cats, which it says here were important for controlling the rodents. So there you have our little tour. My tour group has abandoned me. We'll just look at a couple of artifacts there. There's a sharpening stone, or what's left of it. Be curious to know what that was used for. Their little garden where they're growing some peppers already, it looks like. Pueblo is known for their chilies. Look it up. I don't make shit up. Well, actually, Actually, that's not true. I make shit up all the time. But I'm always honest about it when I'm lying. It says adobe is a fragile building material. Please no sitting, walking, or climbing on the adobe. Okay. Here's our little adobe ovens. I'll probably make a few of these on the ranch when I get to go back down there eventually, whenever that happens. I wonder what that is for. It almost looks like a derrick. My whole group has abandoned me. It's just me and you. In case you're wondering, that building across the way is the ice skating rink. Home of the Pueblo Bulls, it says. And if you ever need to cool down, there's usually a big pile of ice. Oh, there is. Yeah, there's usually a big pile of ice behind the building. There it is. Ooh, nobody wants to see that. There it is, the big pile of ice. Not so big in the summer as it is in the winter, but it's still there. So don't cry to me that it's too hot in Pueblo. You know where to get the ice from. That's it for now. I'm gonna go back inside. See you guys later.